In early 1979, a revolution shook the Middle East and sent shockwaves across the world. The monarchy of Mohammad Reza Shah Pahlavi collapsed under the pressure of a powerful uprising. In its place rose an Islamic revolutionary state led by the cleric Ruhollah Khomeini. For decades, Iran had been a key partner of the United States and the West. Now, the new regime openly rejected Western influence and democratic values. On November 4, 1979, militant revolutionary students stormed the American embassy and seized U.S. diplomats, violating long-standing international law protecting diplomatic missions. 52 Americans would be held hostage for 444 days. Crowds chanting anti-American slogans, a revolutionary regime daring to humiliate the world's leading democracy. At the center of the crisis stood the President of the United States. "We are determined to do everything we can to secure the safe release of the hostages." But as weeks turned into months, diplomacy stalled, and the hostages remained prisoners of a regime that portrayed America as an enemy of its revolution. The crisis became more than a hostage situation. For many Americans, it became a test of whether the United States would defend its citizens and its principles in the face of revolutionary extremism. Inside the White House Situation Room, the debate was fierce. Some advisers believed patience and diplomacy might eventually free the hostages. Others warned that the revolutionary government in Iran was using the crisis to strengthen its power and challenge the United States on the world stage. Secretary of State Cyrus Vance warned against military action. "I opposed the operation because I believed the risk to the hostages was too great." But others argued that the United States could not allow the seizure of its embassy to stand unanswered. National security advisor Zbigniew Brzezinski believed American credibility was at stake. "We must demonstrate that the United States cannot be humiliated with impunity." The dilemma weighed heavily on President Carter. America had exhausted diplomatic channels. Economic sanctions had been imposed. Iranian assets were frozen. Yet the hostages remained in captivity. Carter eventually concluded that the United States had a responsibility to act. "I ordered the mission in order to rescue the American hostages. The responsibility is mine." The mission that followed would become one of the most daring rescue plans in modern military history. Its name was Operation Eagle Claw. To carry out the mission, the United States turned to one of its most elite fighting forces. Delta Force had been created only a few years earlier to confront terrorism and hostage situations around the world. Its commander was Colonel Charles Alvin Beckwith, a veteran soldier who believed the United States must be able to respond decisively to threats against its citizens. "We had the best-trained counter-terrorist force in the world. The men were ready." The plan was bold and complex. Transport aircraft would secretly fly deep into Iranian territory and land on a remote desert staging point called Desert One. Helicopters launched from the carrier USS Nimitz would rendezvous with them there. From that hidden desert location, Delta Force commandos would move closer to Tehran, hide during the day, and strike the embassy the following night. CIA operatives already inside Iran had arranged vehicles to move the commandos into the city. The plan was to storm the embassy compound, defeat the guards, rescue the hostages, and escape before Iranian forces could respond. The mission required precise coordination between multiple branches of the U.S. military and intelligence services. As one planner later explained, success depended on flawless timing and discipline. It depended on everything going exactly right. On April 24, 1980, the operation began. Transport aircraft lifted off from bases across the Middle East. Helicopters rose from the deck of the carrier in the Arabian Sea. More than 100 American servicemen moved quietly toward Iran. Army Rangers, Delta Force commandos, Air Force crews, Navy helicopter pilots, all of them volunteers. Their mission was simple in purpose, even if complex in execution: bring American citizens home from captivity. The aircraft crossed hundreds of miles of desert and ocean under strict radio silence. Their destination was the isolated salt flat known as Desert One, nearly 200 miles from Tehran. As the helicopters approached the Iranian coast, they encountered a powerful desert storm known as a haboob. Thick clouds of sand swallowed the aircraft and reduced visibility to almost nothing. Instruments malfunctioned as sand infiltrated engines and hydraulic systems. One helicopter was forced to turn back. Another made an emergency landing in the desert. When the surviving helicopters reached Desert One, only 6 remained, and one of them was already damaged. The mission required at least 6 operational helicopters to continue. After inspection, commanders realized they had only 5 usable aircraft. The choice before them was stark. After tense deliberation, the order was given: abort the mission. The rescue would not proceed that night. As the American forces prepared to withdraw from Desert One, a helicopter maneuvering for refueling collided with a parked C-130 transport aircraft. The impact triggered a massive explosion. Flames shot high into the night sky as fuel ignited. 8 American servicemen were killed instantly. 5 members of the U.S. Air Force, 3 U.S. Marines. In seconds, the mission turned from a rescue operation into an evacuation. Survivors rushed onto the remaining aircraft and departed the desert, leaving damaged helicopters behind. The men who died at Desert One had volunteered for a mission designed to save fellow Americans held captive by a hostile regime. Their sacrifice would be remembered across the United States. Iranian authorities soon discovered the wreckage in the desert. The revolutionary government displayed the destroyed aircraft as propaganda and celebrated the failed rescue attempt. Ayatollah Khomeini mocked the mission and claimed divine intervention had stopped it. "Who crushed Mr. Carter's helicopters? The sands did. They were God's agents." The hostages were quickly dispersed across multiple locations in Iran to prevent another rescue attempt. For the revolutionary leadership, the crisis had become a powerful symbol of resistance against the United States and its allies. Back in Washington, President Carter addressed the nation. He did not shift blame. He did not hide from the consequences of the decision. "The responsibility is fully my own." The courage of the servicemen involved was widely recognized. The United States began rethinking how it would respond to terrorism and hostage situations in the future. The lessons of Desert One would eventually lead to major reforms in special operations forces and joint military planning. Operation Eagle Claw failed to rescue the hostages, but it left a powerful legacy. The United States strengthened its special operations capabilities and created new command structures designed to prevent such coordination failures in the future. The crisis itself finally ended on January 20, 1981, when the hostages were released after 444 days in captivity. Yet the confrontation between the United States and the revolutionary government of Iran did not end with their release. The events of Desert One revealed how quickly ideological conflict could escalate into international crisis. For many Americans, the hostage crisis and the attempted rescue mission became a defining moment in the struggle between democratic nations and revolutionary regimes. In the silent desert of Iran, 8 American servicemen gave their lives trying to defend their fellow citizens. Their story remains a reminder that the defense of freedom sometimes demands extraordinary courage, even in the most unforgiving places on earth.